Everyone, and welcome to another episode of Dungeons and Dragons using ChatGPT. My name is Hubert A. Shorter. Well, as you can see, this is where we were at last time. You'll remember that we completed a very important mission. We'd killed all the cultists and we've just taken a long rest. Everything's been fully restored in terms of HP, hit dice, class features, and so on and so forth. And we've got some notes that we've got to look at. So the remains of the ritual ring have gone silent. The sliver of black ice pulses softly inside Sarah's sealed satchel. The frost near the shard's former location never melts, even near the fire, which is a bit worrying. Sarah whispers during her watch, "It looked at us through him, but it doesn't understand us. It doesn't know what it means to fight with people who won't run." So morning comes. The fjord is quiet. But high above, circling the distant peaks, a shape drifts. Large, silent, winged. It does not descend yet. So we've got some options. We're going to jump back into this and continue our journey. So, do I inspect the black silver? Do I examine the cultist documents? Do I speak privately with a companion? Do I prepare to leave the fjord and return to the village? I am going to go with, let's speak privately to someone. Let's see what their take on things is. So I'm going to put in 3. Let's see what becomes of this. Now, ChatGPT is running very slowly, certainly since the last update, but hopefully something will come out. Here we go. The fire crackles, footsteps are soft on the frost. She sits beside you, staff still in hand, but her shoulders unguarded. So Sarah, she doesn't speak at first, just watches the embers, her breath drifting in the cold. Then quietly, "When I was a child, my mother told me that stars were just holes in the world, where something brighter waited behind. But that shard wasn't light behind the veil, it was hunger." She looks at you, tired but unafraid. When it saw you, when it named you, did you feel it take something, or did it give something back? She's asking more than a question. She's asking if you changed. Do you tell her that the eye gave you something? Say it tried but failed to change you? Say you don't know, and that's what scares you? Deflect and ask her what she saw? Say nothing, just stay beside her in silence. Well, you've got to say something. Um, let's go with, did the eye give me something? Let's try one, because I'd be interested to know if it actually did give me something. I don't think it did. But let's find out. What is going on? Oh, so you stare into the fire, the flames dance like the eye unblinking. Then softly you speak the truth. "It gave me something." Sarah looks over, surprised, but doesn't interrupt. "Not a gift, not a power, but a weight. Like I'm carrying a word that hasn't been said yet, something waiting to be spoken through me. I don't know what it means, but I know I can bear it." You meet her eyes. Her fear doesn't vanish, but it changes. It becomes something closer to respect. "Then we make sure it never speaks through you, not while I still breathe." She shifts a little closer to the fire, drawing runes through the air absently with a fingertip. "I don't think it's over, but maybe it's quieter now because of us." She places her hand gently on your wrist, only for a moment, then rises and returns to her post. The fire burns low. The sky remains clear. And the weight of the eye no longer feels like a curse. It feels like a warning. Would you like to? So we've got some options. Speak to Howrah next, speak to Kaelin, inspect the Black Shard, go to sleep and prepare for the next day. There is still time before the dawn. Use it. I'm going to speak to Kaelin. Let's get her take on things. Because I think there's a lot more going on here than meets the eye. Very interesting. Have I been infected with something, I wonder? The firelight flickers in your eyes as you rise. Across the camp, Kaelin sits at the edge of the frozen cliff, bow laid across her lap, eyes locked on the distant black trees. She doesn't turn as you approach. Didn't think you were one for talking after battle. She pats the stone beside her. But I'm glad you came. You sit. The wind whispers through the pine-covered cliffs above. The fjord below is quiet. No ice cracking, no footsteps, just cold. She breaks the silence. I almost ran today. When that thing looked up, before Sarah sealed it, I nearly turned my back. Her hand tightens on her bowstring. But I saw you. You didn't flinch. She turns slightly, her voice quieter. Do you think we're going to survive this? If this is just the start, how do you answer? Well, we've got some options here. We survive because we choose to. No, but we fight anyway. We won today. That's enough for now. Survival's not the point, stopping it is. I'm going to say 3. We won today. That's the point. I'm going to be as positive as I can be and see what comes of it. What is going to come of it? It is running very slowly. I wonder if other people are experiencing this. The wind shifts. You speak, not loudly, but the words carry farther than steel. We won today. That's enough for now. Kaelin exhales a long breath that's part relief, part release. Yeah, I guess it is. She doesn't smile, but the tension in her shoulders eases. She leans the bow gently against the stone and looks out over the fjord with you. You ever think we'll go back to normal after this? A pause. Then, with the faintest smirk, no, me neither. You sit together in the quiet until the fire dims and the night deepens. Somewhere beyond the cliff, a lone bird cries. Then silence returns. You've spoken to Sarah, you've spoken to Kaelin. Halra still waits by the fire, sharpening her blade in silence. Well, we might as well talk to her. Let's speak to Halra now, see what she has to say. Now, she's a bit of a hired hand, so I'm not too sure what this conversation's going to be like. Steel hisses softly against whetstone. Sparks flicker like tiny stars. Halra sits, armored, shoulders rising and falling slow, steady, unbothered. But she hears you before you speak. She doesn't look up. You walk like someone who wants words, not war. The blade slows in her hands. I've seen both. Which do you carry tonight? You sit across from her, close to the fire now, its warmth softening the cold edge of your armor. Words this time. Halra finally lifts her gaze. Not sharp, not cold, just focused. Say them then. How do you approach her? Ask why she fights, what drives her. Ask if she's ever faced something like the Shard before. Ask how she keeps calm under pressure. Ask if she trusts the others. Truly, say nothing. I'm going to go with 1. What drives her to fight? And she's probably going to say something smart like money. At least that's what I think. The fire crackles softly between you. No chance, no blades, just two warriors, one question. Why do you fight, Halra? I'm guessing the rest of that's supposed to be saying. Very slow. Here we go. What keeps you walking into the dark? She pauses, longer than expected, then lowers her blade to her lap. Her voice is low, steady, but every word has weight. Because I've seen what happens when no one else will. Because I was 12 when raiders came through my father's village and he told me to run. Because he didn't make it and I did. She meets your eyes, no sorrow, just stone. So now I fight, because I can, because most people can't, and someone has to. She sharpens the blade once more slowly. But I follow you, Alvarin, because you don't fight for glory, you fight like someone who still has something to lose. A moment of silence passes. Then she stands. Rest. I'll take first watch. She walks to the edge of the camp, blade at her back, eyes on the horizon. You've now spoken with each of your companions. Sarah trusts your strength to carry what the eye gave. Kaelin steadies her heart through your resolve, and Halra follows because of your purpose, not just your power. Your bond with each has grown. Would you like to inspect the shard, inspect the cultist papers, sleep, or begin the next journey? Let's inspect the shard. Let's find out what's in there. I've been dying to find out if there's anything that we can get from that to help us in the next adventure. Because I suspect this one is over. Or close to being over, anyway. The fire has dimmed to embers. The others rest. You kneel by Sarah's satchel, its protective runes still glowing faintly. She stirs but doesn't stop you. You ready? Or you're ready, sorry. You nod, she unties the bindings and slowly opens the fold of thick cloth. Inside, the sliver of black ice. Roughly the size of a dagger shard, dark as obsidian, but inside, silver veins pulse like a heartbeat. It's cold, but it's not natural cold. It pulls heat, thought, meaning. Even near it, your breath shortens. Would you like to touch it, speak to it, ask Sarah what she's learned from it, attempt to sense its power through an arcane or religious check? Well, I didn't really know I had those skills. I'm going to ask Sarah what she's been able to learn from it. I'm not rolling for Arcana. I'm not really strong on those skills, I don't think. Sarah, I think, can tell me a lot more. You don't reach for it, not yet. You look to Sarah, her face lit only by the faint glow of protective sigils. She meets your eyes, uncertain, but ready. What? What? What have you learned? She closes the satchel halfway, the sliver still pulsing inside. It isn't a shard of the gate, it's a tooth. Oh dear. You blink, not literally, but metaphorically. That's the closest I can explain. It's a piece of something older than the eye, something that wants to know the world through pieces of itself. She looks away, voice tightening. When I first touched it, I saw you standing in the snow, holding it. But you weren't you. You were speaking, but not in your voice. Her eyes search yours. And it listened. She wraps the sliver tighter. It's not evil, not in the way demons or curses are. It's worse, it's curious. I'm not too sure if that's entirely helpful. Anyway, what this means is that the sliver is not a gate key, but possibly a communication link. It reacts strongly to you. Using it could grant visions, knowledge, or open channels again, but at a cost. That's what I'm worried about. Sarah believes it can be sealed, studied, or even destroyed, but not without risk. Do you touch it, speak through it, destroy it? No. Ask her to hide it and study it more, take it with you and keep it on your person. I don't want this to turn into some sort of Lord of the Rings thing. Um, I'm not sure. If it's a communications tool, let's see what happens if I touch it. This will be interesting. Well, maybe not. Maybe nothing will come of it. I don't know. Only one way to find out. You don't hesitate. You reach through the runes, through the cloth, and your fingers close or close, depending on what the next word is. Your fingers close around the sliver of black ice. The world changes in a heartbeat. Uh-oh. You touch the sliver. It is not just cold, it is absence. The silence between stars, the breath before a scream. Your fingers numb instantly, but your mind flares open. A vision seizes you. You stand in a field of frosted glass. The sky above is cracked, like a mirror struck once and forever shattered. Beneath you, your reflection, but it's moving before you do. Then a voice. It does not echo, it arrives. You turn the blade, you close the gate, but now you carry the key to the next. Will you open or will you bury the scream deeper? The reflection smiles, and it is wearing your armor. Then, snap! The vision ends. You're on your knees by the fire. Sarah is gripping your shoulder, eyes wide. You stop breathing for 10 seconds. What have you learned? The sliver is a conduit, not just a fragment. It's aware, not sentient, but willful. It marks you now. Somewhere in the beyond, something knows your name. You are not corrupted, not controlled, but you are connected. Sarah says quietly, I can bind it again, but it won't forget you. Do you want to keep the sliver with you? Let Sarah bind and carry it. I'm going to let Sarah bind it. I don't even have to consider the other options. Bind it for now and carry it. But I think it's probably about time we headed back to see where the rest of this story is going to take us. You exhale, slow, steady. Your hand still tingles where the sliver touched you. You look into Sarah, eyes clear. It knows me now. That's enough. You carry it. She hesitates, then nods. I'll bind it with stone warding and salt fire. It won't whisper, not again. She draws a circle in the frost with her staff, and places the sliver inside. A second cloth wraps it, then a rune of containment, etched from her own blood, seals it closed. It's buried, but not gone. When the time comes, we'll be ready. So, the sliver is now secured in Sarah's care. You're no longer exposed to visions or psychic influence. You remain connected. The sliver still remembers you and may respond again in future events. No doubt I'm going to have to touch it again. Sarah will study it carefully, unlocking potential insights or warnings. The fire begins to die, the sky above the fjord lightens faintly, a new day dawns. Let's go to sleep. I definitely want to try and get some sleep, try and recover from the vision, and then we'll head back. If we don't have to fight someone. So let's see where this choice takes us now. You don't speak again. Not yet. Not tonight. The wind brushes your face, but it can't reach the weight you left in the runes. So, we're resting after the vision. You lie down by the fire, the crackling dim now. Like the heartbeat of the world, slow and quiet again. Sarah keeps watch this time. Halra circles the perimeter once. Kaelin sleeps with her hands still on the bowstring. And you sleep, but not in fear. You sleep as one who faced the dark, and did not blink. So our long rest is complete. Everything's been restored. I gain inspiration. That's helpful. So we're on day 6. The sky is overcast, the shard is gone, the sliver is sealed, the wind carries only snow and silence far above. The winged shadow seen the night before is gone. Your party stirs, eats quietly, prepares packs. The decision is yours now. Would you like to return to the village, explore the fjord for cult remnants, inspect the cultist papers, let someone else in the party take the lead? Let's do a quick inspection of the papers, and then we'll see what we can learn from those papers, and then we'll head back to the village. I think that's where we really need to go before we decide on what we're going to do next. So the camp is packed. What else? What else have we got here? Just in time for the dramatic music. But one thing remains: bundle scrolls, oil-stained pages pulled from the seer robes, stashed by Kaelin in a leather case. Now you sit cross-legged by the dying coals, Sarah at your side unfolding the truth piece by piece. Inspecting the cultist papers. Most are written in a strange, angular script, and we're waiting for the rest of it. I'm sure there's going to be something very interesting coming out of this. But with Sarah's help and a few late night translations, they reveal the following. The doctrine of the third eye. There is not one eye, there are 3, past, present, and what waits. We serve the one that opens backward, so that the world may forget. This sect worshipped the eye of erasure, not prophecy. Their goal was not foresight, but undoing things already done. The shard, a fragment of memory itself stolen from the void. The naming ritual. To name a soul is to place it where the eye can find it. One must be named by the herald to be seen across reflections. You, Alvaran, were named during the ritual. The eye can now locate you across certain magical thresholds. Well, that's not good. But this also allows you to sense future fragment pulses. The right of the triad. 3 bodies, 1 voice, 1 gate. But if the third fails, the screen cannot bind. This confirms the triangle of seers formed a living gate. Interrupting the third, which you did, sorry, prevents activation. If all 3 had completed the chant, the portal would have opened fully. Okay. The incomplete map. Tucked between pages is a half-burned map showing a line of symbols marked eye wells. One is circled glass lake, 2 others, faint, partially burned, appear farther inland. They were preparing another site. Sarah frowns. Maybe more than one. So what are our key discoveries then? You were marked not just as a target, but a witness. The cult seeks to reverse reality, but not rule it. There are other possible shard sites. A sliver is not unique, there may be more. Would you like to keep the map and plan an expedition to the next eye well, return to the village and report this discovery, share this knowledge with Halra and Kaelin, burn the documents, destroy the knowledge? Well, I'm going to share the information, and then we can make a decision about going back to the village. I think that's the sensible thing to do. You want everyone in your party to be aware of what you've discovered, so that as a group you can make a collective decision, even though Alvaren's kind of the leader. Okay. You rise from the paper slowly. The frost crunches under your boots as you gather the map and pages, walk to where Kaelin and Haura are tightening straps and adjusting armor. You say only one word to start, and we're waiting to see what that word is. What is she going to say? We need to talk. Sharing the truth with the party, you lay the papers out over Kaylin's bedroll. Halra crouches beside you. Kaylin leans on her bow. Sarah finishes her warding circle and joins quietly. As you explain the fragments, the doctrine of erasure, the Eyewell map, the naming ritual, the interrupted gate, their expressions harden. No fear, just clarity. How do they react? So, Halra? So, not prophecy, not madness, just unmaking. Then we find the next shard. We end it before it starts. She looks directly at you. We let you walk into the gate once, not again without us. Kaylin, I'll find the next site. Give me the map, those symbols. These aren't random. They match old elven star paths. She traces one faded line. I can get us there, quietly, fast. This wasn't a war, it was a test. They sent one herald. There will be more. She gently places the sealed sliver inside her scroll case, but now we know how to fight back. So, the party is united. You now have a partial map to more Eyewells, a team that trusts and follows your lead. Great. Sarah carrying the sealed sliver, and it's a decision to make next. So, do we return to the village, begin travel towards the next Eyewell, split the party briefly? Not splitting the party. I think we should. Time is of the essence, so we're going to head to the next Eyewell. And once we've discussed the consequences of that decision, I think that's where we'll probably stop for today. We've been going for almost 30 minutes. So let's see what this is going to bring. And what I'll do, as I normally do with ChatGPT, I'll ask it to create an image that summarizes the story so far and use that as the thumbnail for this episode. So the wind stirs the map. You plant your glove on the edge, eyes locked on the faint burnt trail toward the next eye level. You speak the words like steel on whetstone. We move now, before they know we're coming. So our next destination is a place called Vale Barrow. Kaylin points to the mark, half faded on the map. An old ruin deep within the Duskwind Hills, known once as Vale Barrow, abandoned after a plague, rumoured cursed. Few roads reach it, but Kaylin charts a hidden path through Witchpine Valley. So the party prepares. Sarah seals the eye documents and secures the sliver in triple wards. Halra tightens her chainmail, blades checked, eyes forward. Kaylin scouts a path and avoids villages, roads, and watchers. You lead the march. Total travel 4 to 5 days by the secret path. So, current game time is now day 6. 3 days remain until the new moon, a day sacred to the eye. That's when they'll try again, Sarah warns. We have to reach the next site before then. So, these are our choices at the end of this episode. To travel through Witchpine Valley now, scout ahead with Kaylin for danger, speak with the party one more time before the journey, review your supplies, and make changes. The eye turned toward you. Now you turn toward it. So, lots of exciting stuff happened in this particular episode, but like I said, I think this is where we're probably going to stop for today. So, as always, if you've got any questions, comments, or suggestions, especially about the prompt that I'm using, then please add your comments below in the comments section, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.